especially specifically sweets like this. And he was like, well, you know, while we're together, I want you to know, like, I want to give you the world. And I was like, thank you so much. Like, I feel so grateful. And I remember telling him that in that moment. I'm past customs and I see him and immediately I'm hit with the realization that I got it so bad. December like 26th or 27th, I was going to go to Copenhagen and then spend like a week there. So I go to New York, have a great couple days with my friend Natalie, and then on like the second day I'm in New York, I get a message from him, and he said, "Oh my goodness, my dad's back in the hospital." And it's in the month of March of 2023. Yes, I'm sick in my stomach. So I send him the money. We end up going to the airport. I keep in mind that I go to bed and I wake up knowing that I'm waking up to news. I don't know if it's good or bad. So I wake up and I call him. I go, "How did it go?" He goes, "Worse than I possibly could have imagined." I almost like expected it to have gone bad. I'm like, if it had gone good, I would have been more surprised. I'm like, "What now?" He said, "Well, they scheduled a second hearing for my business account January 10th, and currently my personal account is also under investigation." So they just got wrenched, and I can see how much money he can gamble and what he's betting on. And I kid you not, first of all, it was $5,000 that he was gambling and wrenching, and I honestly at that point just started screaming. And I sent him a text and I said, "I have your passport." He said, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I go, "Please come home, babe. You fight for the people you love, and I love you, and we will get through this." And he said, "This stunt literally cost me thousands of dollars. My decision is made. Remember who is fighting who." And I said, "We just need to talk through this. I know you're hurt and I'm sorry for my part in this, but you're my husband and we will fight through this. We're building a life here with friends and family." He said, "I am over it, but don't worry. All your troubles will go away. Now it'll just take a day longer and cost me more money." Ridiculous. "I don't care anymore. I really don't." I say, "I don't believe that. You wouldn't have married me if you wanted to give up that easily." He said, "Well, okay, but I'm getting a temporary passport, so I'll be leaving, and you made sure to take my green card too. So even if I wanted to come back, that's not possible. Take care."
She said, "He told me he was an Olympian. He was a part of a royal family." Then videos are surfacing of his mama not looking like no damn royalty. He needed $200,000, so I would transfer him little by little because I didn't give him all my money. I would transfer little by little. Internet said, "How you Nigerian and get scammed?" I'll tell you how. He very well might not have been her first piece of white meat, but he for damn sure was the first to wine and dine her and get inside of her mind to such an extent that she thought this is the one the Lord chose. At first, we was going to react to the whole entire video. I had to chop it down to 1 hour and 50 minutes. Girl, I said, I'm not watching all of this. Let me speed it up, cut out some stuff. Then I started looking online and I said, see, I knew there was something to this story that we had to figure out. What's up, my friends? And welcome back once again to the Just Case and Brand. I'm your homegirl, I'm your tia, I'm your prima, I'm your cousin, I'm your friend, I'm whatever you need me to be down here at the Just Case and Brand. If you're new to the community, welcome on in. As you can see, we like to talk about stuff that is already on the internet. We don't go to get to stealing people information or start talking about whatever they got going on in the court systems, unless the documents have been released. We don't do none of that, okay? We only talk about things that are already online, gossip about it a bit. If that sounds like your vibe, please consider joining the Jaberhood. If you are a part of the Jaberhood, what's up? I love you. Now, don't let the holiday blues get too much to you. I know I already done said something. Some of y'all gonna be like, girl, you already said something. I know. I just want to make sure you understand. Give yourself grace. If you do a little too much, it's all right. Shit, we ain't gonna think about it come Sunday, Monday, you know? If you eat too much, it's okay. If you sleep too much, it's all right. Do whatever you need to do to make you feel comfortable in this holiday season, because depression is real. Anxiety is real. Feeling hopeless and feeling like, damn, I ain't got nobody to talk to is real. And that's exactly why I'm coming to you. Anyway, let's talk about this girl. Onyeka Ihai is best known for being on Cole Underwood's season of The Bachelor. And the reason why a lot of people liked her was because she was confident, bold, very outspoken, but also polished, articulate, knew how to control a room too. And she could dress, in my opinion. Along with that class and intelligence outside of the reality TV shows, she was still a very successful woman dabbling in real estate. And I'm sure a woman like her probably has investments, stocks, and is in a different type of crowd when it comes to finances. She's very well educated. She presents as a woman who can see a problem, know how how to solve it before she even gets into it. And I would think she would have some sort of sense because she has strong ties to her family. Her family gives me the feeling that they are a very traditional Nigerian family, Igbo if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, they value career, family, structure. So I think that's what made her successful as well. And once you learn that about her, her TikTok story is more than shocking. It's like, girl, how was you this stupid? What was going on with you that made you decide to do all this dumb type of shit, giving out all this type of money and grace and trying to understand him so much and put yourself on the fire because you wanted to see him succeed so bad? You wasn't raised to be this type of fool unless he was taking you through a mattress, girl, telling you everything you want to hear, and you was too scary to tell him why you was bothered with the things that he was doing because you really wasn't a man. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, let me back up real quick. So in these videos, she tells a Risa Tisa style, why did I get married or who the fuck did I marry story about this man and how he tricked her and deceived her into believing that he was this royal man who had this money and this success and prestige when in reality he was just a broke dusty.
Walking straight out of a Calvin Klein ad. And I'm telling you guys, 6'3", blonde hair, blue eyes, chiseled skin, so tan, muscles everywhere. I was definitely taken aback. And I feel like it takes a lot for me to really double take a man just based on his looks like that. And 100% I was a little bit just, at this point, we're still talking pretty consistently on Instagram. We still do not have each other's numbers. And he sent me a message. He said, hey, I have a work conference coming up in Monaco and I would love for you to come. And I read that message and I was like near the south of France, like that Monaco? And he was like, yeah, like I can get you your flight and everything will be taken care of. And I was like, okay, well, give me some time to think about it because I didn't want to say yes on the spot, but I was like, okay, this is something I definitely want to consider. So I thought about it for a while. I talked to my friends about it. I talked to my sisters about it. At first I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do it. Like, this is crazy. And then over time I started like talking myself into it. And then one morning I woke up and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go to Monaco. So I sent him a message and I said, hey, I decided I'm gonna come to Monaco. And he sends me a message. He said, this is the best day ever. I'm so happy. Send me your passport and everything. I'll book the flight. So I sent him a picture of my passport. And I also was like, oh, and by the way,
what I was thinking the whole entire time, as soon as she said he had blue eyes and long hair, and I said, oh my God, he is so attractive. I said, a nigga would have never got away with this. If a black man was trying to do this with her ass, please. He could be like, I'm about to take you to Chicago. She would take me where? I know you don't even have the money, motherfucker. That little white accent, all that. And I ain't trying to say there's anything wrong with the woman who does speak very proper, as y'all know I do. But with that little accent and that little flare up, it doesn't know what's going on. That would have all went away if it was a nigga. She'd be like, I don't fuck with niggas. I'm telling you. The more she speaks, any woman with common sense starts to say, no, I wouldn't even sacrifice half of this for a man. Hell, I wouldn't even sacrifice half of this for my family. You think I'm about to sit up here and let a man enter my life and then ask me for my passport when we're traveling in and out of the country and ask me for money?
And I said, hey, like, how's your day? And he's like, it's been such a stressful, intense day. I go, what happened? He's like, I found out that the apartment complex that I bought is dealing with some major foundation issues. Like, it could affect safety of the tenants and I'm really stressing out and I need to get it fixed. And I was like, oh, okay, like, did you schedule repair? He's like, not yet. It's going to cost like a hefty chunk of change. I was like, how much is it going to cost? He's like, $50,000. I was like, $50,000? What? Like, it's obviously a lot of money. I'm sure it's a lot of money to a lot of you. It's a lot of money to me. And so I was like, okay, like, what's the plan? He's like, I'm going to have him. A couple hours go by. He calls me and he's really excited. So I talked to my dad on the phone. He will not, well, basically, like the 2 days before he's supposed to come to Dallas, he tells me, he says, just letting you know, I'm not able to come to Dallas because I need to figure out this issue. And I, at this point, start freaking out. So I'm like, no, like, I 100% like want you to come still. Just let me loan you the money so that you'll be fine and we can, be happy and be together. And so after some thinking, he's like, okay, fine, I will borrow the money from you. But you have to promise me that this will be the only time.
And this is the irritating part. Even as she is explaining to us all of these red flags that she is seeing in this man, she is still saying, I was in love with him. And I don't know if you guys know about love, but love makes you, shut up with all that shit. My heart is so big. And I just could not say no because his dad was dying. My son dead. I said, what's up? Your daddy on his way to glory? Ask him if he could take a note up into heaven because your daddy is a good man. But if you think I'm about to keep on sitting up here and believing these little type of lies, as soon as I'm trying to ask you a question about your bank statements, what you do, who you been with, and then your phone is ringing and all of a sudden all he know how to speak in is damn Danish. Oh, but in American, he can say real good, can I borrow $3,000? Oh, but when he on the phone, all of a sudden he don't know how to speak English. Oh, girl, please. I'd have caught that shit so quick. I keep saying I'm getting ahead of myself because as I was going through the clips, I'm just like, girl, ain't no woman in her right mind is damn dumb. Hell, even the Reddit forums that are in Danish are saying they ain't even this stupid. So what are we talking about? I'm gonna retell the story. If you guys do want me to react to the whole entire video, I will do that just for you. Just let me know, okay? So in the beginning, how she telling him everything is this romantic movie that you see on Netflix or maybe even Tubi, because sometimes Tubi do be having some good productions, except for the movie Joe and Ned are in it. Chapter 1, the fantasy begins. She tells us that as her and her friends are gallivanting across the country, hell, the universe, hell, the world, she runs into this man and he's a beautiful man, 6'5", chunky, locks down to his waist, no kids, full mouth of gold grill, dark skin. Oh shit, sorry. Blue blue eyes, long hair, and they have this kind of cosmetic connection, but she can't really explain it. It's just like something's there that she's never felt before. She's telling him about what she's doing in her life, what her goals are, what she does for work, all that little type of shit. He telling her that he does a lot of stuff for work too, and he makes all this money in technology and shit. And she feels like, oh, we're so compatible. They get to social media, and once they're on there, it's like he's liking every single one of her stories, like hearting it. And he's like kind of saying some comments up underneath it, and that tells her, oh, he might be really liking me. So for some reason, just out of nowhere, they're talking a little bit more, like just in their own private messages, and she says, let me just send him a full body picture of me in a bikini and just be like, I don't mean anything by it. Whole time she keeps trying to lie to us, saying I don't believe that, you know, he's really like into me, or that I'm into him, or that like he's flirting with me, because I'm just so playing it cool. If you really believe a man is giving you a straightforward compliment, nothing on it, you're just gonna be like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it, thank you. You're not going to keep reading into it, especially if it's a man that you don't really want to mess with. But if it's a man you want to mess with and he keep on liking all your shit, in your mind, y'all trying to go on a date together. He's supposed to be asking you out. Don't know why he ain't asked you out yet if he gonna keep on liking shit. Don't know why he ain't asked for the number. Don't know why he ain't asked more questions if he gonna keep on liking shit, because sometimes that's what men do. They just enjoy looking at women. They enjoy flirting. They enjoy being in the inbox. They don't give a fuck about nothing else. You can't let that type of shit get to your head. And I can tell her she was talking, that was getting to her head. Again, I don't think she ain't never had white meat, but it's very obvious that little bit of attention set her off, set her heart ablaze to just open up and believe anything he would say to her. A main thing in this story too is they're always taking trips. No matter how much money they got, they ass is going on a trip. They plan this trip because he's telling her, listen, girl, I want to take you around the world. Hell yeah, I got the money for it. Now, all you got to do is send me about $5,500, your passport, your ID, the lease agreement. Also, do you have a car? Yeah, send me whatever agreement you got on there too, and I'm gonna get you over here to Monaco. Now, when we get to okay, I know it's Monaco, but how funny would it be if he's inviting her on these expensive trips and he can't even pronounce the shit that he's saying he want to invite her to? Now, when we get over here to Monaco, I'm telling you, girl, you ain't gonna have to spend a damn thing. Nah, maybe $15 a little bit. And I want you to know this, honey, because I want to see you face to face. I don't even want to FaceTime you. Who? Correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes when you're feeling a person and you met them off of a dating app, or you met them just out and about randomly and y'all really ain't like getting on the phone like that, don't you want to get on the phone? Then if you want to get into an actual serious dating, like, okay, I'm gonna go on this first date with a person I met off a dating app or out of town while I was out and about with the homegirls, let me at least get on a FaceTime to make sure the motherfucker real. Ain't that the flow of it? Not with her ass. She said, but this is so romantic. It's like we're secret lovers. Oh yes, y'all are. What? No, you're about to FaceTime me. I need to see your surroundings. Are you sitting in a room with a bunk bed? Because if you are, I know that you still staying with your mama. Are you in a room that has these type of ceilings that is made of steel? If so, you probably living in your granny's basement. Hold up. Is your ass in a car? Let me look at the ceiling of that car. You don't even get it cleaned? Oh God. Wait a second. Is that a McDonald's t-shirt? Okay, so you got a job. Y'all know how it go when you first get to talk to somebody. Y'all are asking dumbass questions. How many kids would you want? I mean, I don't know, because sometimes I think about like, I would want 100, anything with you. Where you want to get married at? I mean, I was thinking of getting married in your mama front yard because, you know, I'm really fucking with you. Oh my gosh, let me not even say that because we only been talking for 3-4 days. That's what these niggas was doing on the phone all the time. And to her, that meant this was the one the Lord had for her. So she going all in for the motherfucker. She's like, wow, this is something I never experienced before. He's always saying that I'm beautiful, that he want to be with me, that he wants me to meet the queen. Hold up, the queen? Who the queen? Your mama? He said, hell yeah, my mama the queen. Now I'm telling you, no disrespect to his mama, but I guarantee I done seen her ass down at bingo. All right, I done seen her drink a Miller Lite or two. Hell, she might even drink Coke 45 while they playing with her. She don't look like no damn queen at all. And I couldn't believe that she was sitting up here believing what he was saying. How you royalty and you look regular? Saying royalty has to look like money, but you can sure tell they done spent something on him. Looking at this man, I said, girl, what are we looking at? Do you not have eyes? I know she was raised better than that. Looking at past videos of them, you can tell it's just not there like she's saying it's there.
Do you have a message for your very first 4th of July as a U.S. resident?
Sure, if I can do it in Danish.
You can do it in Danish.
Okay, well here we go. Til alle mine amerikanske venner, glædelig uafhængighedsdag. Det er en stor dag i dag. Husk på, at det er et privilegium at bo i et land med så mange muligheder, som vi har her i USA. Jeg har været heldig at rejse til mange lande verden over og set lidt af hvert. Og jeg er taknemmelig for at være her i USA. Og alle de muligheder, der kommer med det. Jeg er taknemmelig for at være omgivet af mennesker, som jeg holder meget af, og som holder meget af mig. Så glædelig uafhængighedsdag. Peace.
After she get done doing praise and worship about their love and their love bombing stage, she talks about how out of nowhere her ass done blacked out, fell on the floor, had a bleeding head, done peed on herself and everything, and he was her knight in shining armor because he was sitting there with her.
Is your wig squeezing your brain too tight, heifer?
What? I see why you didn't tell nobody in your family about what your ass was up to, because everybody would have told you, girl, this man is sitting up here trying to unalive you and take everything in your cash app. What are you doing here? But no, that ain't the way that she seen it. She said, my knight rode up on his horse and he said, I'll never leave you. Girl, I'm here. And I said, oh, for me to be all the way down here at Vodka City, I can't believe you the only one here for me. Because you didn't let nobody else know where your ass was at. You didn't tell your mom, hey, mom, I'm about to go out of town with this dude. He said I just got to give him my passport, the last 4 of my social, and let him co-sign on my lease agreement. That's all I got to do. You know, he said he loved me, so I'm about to be on the way. Because your mama would have tore into your ass and made you feel like a damn fool and said, girl, sit down somewhere here. Now, if you going to go out there and have your little fun, go ahead. But you better not come back with no babies or nothing on you that you can't get rid of. You understand me? She knew that's what was going to happen. So as she's telling these stories, I'm just like, all this sounds like God telling you this ain't the one. I got a rule of thumb. If there's too many issues in the beginning month of me dating somebody, I'm like, oh yeah, this ain't gonna work out too long. If we always arguing, or you know, if I black out and all of a sudden I wake up in my own urine and feces, then I'm gonna think to myself, yeah, I shouldn't probably be with this type of person. He's not a safe guy. There's no safety here. They have to say their goodbyes, and it's sad because they're so sad every time that they leave each other. Yeah, girl, I bet he is sad. He said, damn, how am I have access to the American Express now? Who gonna pay for my Uber Eats or whatever it is in Danish? What I'm gonna do now? She leaving. But I am sad. Shit. I got to go back home and eat noodles with my mama. She gonna always be arguing about me. Clean the dishes, do this, do that. But when I was with you, we was staying in Airbnbs, hotels. You be flying me around the world, whining and dining me. Bitch, I'm crying. She gets to having this little event or whatever, and he's like so supportive of it, so he helps her plan the event, set up the event, and she's so nervous about him meeting her Nigerian family. That's kind of a dead giveaway that she don't date outside of her race like that or her culture like that, and it's uncomfortable as well as shocking. I done dated the rainbow. If I bring somebody home, I doubt if anybody gonna say a damn thing other than, so what you think? You think y'all gonna, yeah? When you've already delved into that world with good men from each one, you're not gonna feel so apprehensive about it. Even with the culture thing, while I am Black, I was raised with a lot of Mexican culture, but never am I gonna be nervous about bringing a man who's not of my culture into my world. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, so this the Mexican side, and then we about to go over to the Black side, and we meet in the middle. Or else why date me if you know what my culture is? I can't be worried about that type of shit when I'm trying to problem solve and work out the relationship already. And no, I can't worry about that too now. But she's so amazed. He comes with her. He's dancing with a family. She's super impressed. Then she talks to her friend about it, and her friend said, girl, have you met his parents? Why are you taking him everywhere? And I said, boom, I know that's a real friend right there, because why am I introducing you to my parents if I'm not meeting yours? You're not taking me around your circle, even though she said allegedly he took her to this event and it was super fancy. That's beside the point. I think that's a conversation that you have to where it's like, we're both in this position where we want to take things to like a serious level, where you come to my family events, I go to your family events, but we should meet the heads of the family, because ain't y'all on the same page as a couple? I understand in some situations you can't meet families because they're in different countries or whatever, but how they were traveling, it would have been very easy. I could see why her friend would say that. Christmas comes, his dad gets in the hospital, and it just becomes like a repetitive thing of every time she would try and ask him about something happened with one family member of his. So Christmas comes, his dad's in the hospital, he feel like he ain't got nobody. Here she is trying to be there for him over and over and over again. Then she gets to lending him money because he's saying, oh, I done bought this apartment building, I was planning to flip it, but this happened at the apartment, that happened at the apartment. What does she do? She's there for him, trying to coach him through and advise him on how she'll be there for him financially. I kept on picking up on the fact that she wants to have some sort of dignity in the conversation, but she knows she done lost it, because why would you continuously loan a man who you say went to the Olympics, is from royal blood, has all of this success? Why would you keep on lending him money? family. And also trying to put it under the blanket statement of it was love, it was marriage, because eventually they get married in some sort of courthouse situation. All of these things that she says along the way is just her convincing herself that she ain't with a crusty ass, broke ass man. That's it. At the end of the day, I can't even keep on explaining this damn story because it just gets dumber and dumber and dumber.
So you met him in February, and in March he needed money.
Yes.
Okay. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. That's a bill.
Off to the village.
You didn't get me, girl. Also, her weaponizing her desire for love in a way of, I'm the victim. Look at me. He did this to me and he did that to me and all I did was love. No, you was a damn fool. That's it. Don't be coming on this internet now and get mad because he ended up breaking up with your ass. Yeah, you heard what I said. By the end of these 28,000 clips, this 4-hour fucking story that you got to speed up to 2 times just to get through it, he breaks up with her.
30, and I know he said he was going to leave around 1, so I was like, okay, I'll have some time to intercept him. I get home and everything is gone. His bags that were half are gone. And I don't know if anyone's ever experienced being left by a spouse without knowing, or even a partner in general, but it is the most devastating feeling in the world. And especially someone that you shared your life with, they're there one day and the next day they're gone. It is just gut wrenching. And I honestly at that point just start screaming. And I sent him a text and I said, I have your passport. He said, what the fuck is wrong with you? I go, please come home, baby. Fight for the people you love and I love you and we will get through this. And he said, this stunt literally cost me thousands of dollars. My decision is made. Remember who is fighting who. And I said, we just need to talk through this. I know you're hurt and I'm sorry for my part in this, but you're my husband and we will fight through this. We're building a life here with friends and family. He said, I'm over it, but don't worry. All your troubles will go away. Now it'll just take a day longer and cost me more money. Ridiculous. I don't care anymore. I really don't. I say, I don't believe that. You wouldn't have married me if you wanted to give up that easily. He said, well, okay, but I'm getting a temporary passport, so I'll be leaving and you made sure to take my green card too. So even if I wanted to come back, that's not possible. Take care. And you think I'm giving up easy? You're delusional. I said, I can mail it to you. And at that point, I'm freaking out because I did take his green card. So I get in the car and I said, I can bring you your passport and I can bring you your green card. I'll go to the airport. He goes, don't worry. I'm on the phone with the consulate. They'll figure it out. I don't need you. And I said, I'm on the way with the passport right now. I'll be there in 20. He said, I'm not going to see you. Trust me. I said, okay, I'll turn around. But I also can leave the passport at the front desk so you don't have to see me. He goes, don't worry. Getting issued an emergency passport. Don't you fucking leave my passport anywhere. This is the most insane situation I've ever heard of. And guys, this is my favorite text in the entire thread. Call on your friends and family. You prioritize them. Now they can show up for you. And just to be very clear, I do not give a fuck if you tell everybody everything. So here I am telling everybody everything. So after that message, he says, there's no coming back from this. And I text him back and I said, okay, I will accept that now. And I had reached full acceptance because the fact that he had told me that he doesn't care if I tell everybody everything means that he must really be done with this marriage. And so I reached acceptance and I'm in my car and I remember I sent a text to my sisters and I said, my ex just left me. And I also called my best friend Becca and I told her, I said, he just left me. And I stay on the phone for until I get home and I just land on the couch and I'm just hysterically crying and just completely heartbroken. Like the man that I love has just left me and I'm never going to see him again. And so obviously it took some time for my sisters to read my text and they both came over and I realized like now's the time to come clean and tell everybody what's really been going on in our lives. And so my sisters are sitting down next to me and my best friend Becca is also on the couch and I look at them and I tell them everything about the gambling, about the lies, about the money. My little sister looks up at me and she says, well, he actually took $1,000 from me. And we asked my little sister for money 2 times. The first time was back in May. It was for a birthday present for me, which is crazy because he did not get me a birthday present that year. So I asked him not to because I wanted us to save money. He paid her back and he actually paid her back with interest, but it took him like a month and a half to send it back. And then he asked her for money again in the beginning of August, saying that he's planning a surprise for me for our wedding in Nigeria. And again, he's having issues transferring his Danish account, his personal account, and she sent him money and that amount was not paid back to her. So I sent him a text and I said, you took $3K from my little sister. I hate you. No wonder why you left. You're a fucking coward. I don't know how in deep you are, but please know I will make it back from this. Fuck you. You were right. There's no coming back from this. You're a pathetic waste of space. And he responds, you're right, but don't worry, you'll get what's yours. You can start the filing process so we can be done with this. I said, glad we're finally on the same page. He said, me too. I'll need my passport back Thursday. Can we find a way to make that work? I said, absolutely, whenever you pay us back. And I said, you're the most disgusting human I've ever met. He said, that's a mature comment, but that deal works. What's the exact amount I owe you? And I said, love how you use the word mature as you flee the state, LMAO. I mean country. I mean continent. He goes, I'm not fleeing Aniga. I'm going to make sure you get what's yours. That's all I've been trying to do. You can believe that if you want to or not. Well, I'm just scream crying at this point, just being like, no. And it takes me some time to like gather myself. And then I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's not the only one. So the first person I call is one of my close friends, Chris. And him and his wife, Thea, they're pregnant with their first kid and they're buying their first house. Obviously, money's tight. And I called him and I said, did you give money to my ex? And he goes, yeah, I did. And then I just start scream crying on the phone and then I tell him everything that's happening. And it was so heartbreaking because like I had to tell people these things and then I would be so emotional, so wrecked. And then I would gather myself and then I would realize that there's another person I have to call. So after I called Chris, I called my friend Rob and asked him, did you loan money to my ex? And he said, yes, I did. And again, I'm scream crying. He borrowed money from Rob 2 times. The first time he said that he was buying an Aston Martin DB9 and he was trying to shuffle funds between his Danish account and his American account. In a while, that amount of money was paid back. And then he came back and asked money from Chris and Rob and said that he was trying to surprise me with this super rare Rolex. And he was trying to surprise me with it with the wedding and the store just got it and he didn't think they were gonna get it again before the wedding. And so that's how he got money from them the second time around. And then I messaged him, Chris and Rob too, what the fuck? And he said, you don't have to remind me, I am aware. That's why I need to go back and fix it. And then I texted him in all caps, who else? And then he doesn't respond. Then I called one of my friends that I've known since high school, asked him, did you give my ex money? He said yes. He had loaned him money as well. And then I made a call to my cousin and I asked, I said, have you loaned my ex money? He said yes. And we are the godparents to his son. And that one was like so heartbreaking because this man trusted us to be godparents to his child. And I texted him, you took money from my cousin too. I'm so sick to my stomach. I wish I never fucking met you. And he goes, Anyeka, I understand. I don't need these reminders. And then I said in all caps, tell me who else. I said, be honest for once in your fucking life so I can finish making these calls and I can heal. And he said, no one is asking you to do that. That's a choice you have made. So over the course,
because she starts questioning him about his gambling addiction that the motherfucker done had all along. The whole time he was taking money from her, going on his phone and gambling. All these little conversations she says he was having with family and how he was such an impressive man, all this type of she had to put him in gambling anonymous. Grown man, by the way. Then she was still letting the man control her finances, saying, this is love. This is love. I mean, what do you do when you're in love? Shit, not that. Soon as a motherfucker asked me for a ride to work, I fall out of love. I'm not even in love no more. Not because, you know why? I wouldn't ask you when we're just figuring things out, dating and stuff. And also as an adult, unless we was really married and had this good relationship that we've been together for a couple of years and I can depend on you because my car is down. Yeah, okay, maybe then. But she had to bring this motherfucker over here, marry him so he can get a green card. Motherfucker still wasn't working over here, had 2 phones, one for Danish shit, another for American shit. Still wasn't bringing in no money, still asking her for money. She put the motherfucker on a credit card and then was still questioning as to why their love wasn't working. The moment she asked him, what you doing with this money and why are you gambling with the money that I'm giving you, he got mad at her, got to cussing her out, saying that he didn't want to be with her no more. She was sitting there like, ooh, please stop being stupid out here and acting like it's all the man's fault. No, all he did was be a player. Players play. And there's really people on the internet trying to defend her and saying, how? You guys wouldn't know because you've never been in that situation. And you know what? Before you judge her, it could be you. Who could it be? Not us. I guarantee you that much. Hell no, boy. As soon as someone got to talking a little too much in Danish, I'm turning on that translator app. I'm not wasting no time. As soon as I start realizing something might not be right, I know exactly who to call if I can't find all the information that I need to find. I'm telling you, your homegirls who work in corporate, use them. That's all I'm gonna say. Your homegirls who work in corporate, see what they can find out for you. If you got a name and address, if you can find a little something like a last 4 bank statement, shoot. Can you go online, pull up a little criminal history, background check? You got a homegirl who might work in leasing? Can she pull it up for you for free? Yeah, I'm just saying, use your resources. Y'all know I'm always say that. Use your resources. Speaking of using your resources, a young lady who is well spoken on TikTok and has the bio of, I'm probably talking about y'all business, was talking about her business, said that one of her homegirls had already told her exactly the type of man that Martin was. She just didn't want to listen.
Good afternoon. After getting off my live last night, I received a DM. If we remember in part 1, she had mentioned how she was traveling and she was meeting up with a friend, I believe in Barcelona. That friend is the one that DM'd me, or should I say ex-friend. She DM'd me with some information. She would like to be anonymous, so I'm going to respect her wishes, but I have the DM on my laptop and I'm reading it, okay? If it sounds choppy, it's because of identifying information. So the DM reads, I used to be close friends with Onyeka and even went on a double date with her and her ex-husband. When we were friends, I told her to be careful of that man, and it seemed too good to be true. And he was suspicious, and she wanted to hear nothing of it. Shocker.
Okay.
Her best friend, Natalie, that's the girl who made the video yesterday, that she mentioned in her story, was there when we were all out to dinner 4 months after she met her ex and was gassing her up and feeding into her delusions, telling her he is her Prince Charming and who she asked God for. So now we know why, Natalie's considered the best friend. Okay? So yeah, she had people in her life, including her brother-in-law, married to her sister, question her ex's Olympian status, and instead she just cut some of us off who questioned the legitimacy of their relationship. So there were people in her circle that were questioning the legitimacy, and instead of her to take heed, she cut them off. When we met her and Martin for dinner, she said he had just asked her dad for her hand in marriage and asked us if we were talking about that yet. Mind you, it had been a couple months. Mind you, my husband and I just started dating December 2022 and met the same month she met Martin, and we were like, that is way too fast, and we were just enjoying dating. And we met for our double date March of 2023 after they had gotten married. She also cut me off as a friend because my husband, boyfriend at the time, didn't want to buy a house from her. I'm the same friend in her first video she met up with in Barcelona the day after she met Martin in Croatia. I forgot to mention it in the beginning, but this friend is a person of color. They're not black, they're not white, right?
Okay.
And she mentioned about the fetishization, which is what we were talking about. That Onyeka would tell her, quote, I love us and our European men. And we were like, that is so weird to say out loud. And this person met her husband, who is European, but he does live in the US for work. So yes, so that is the DM. Moral of the story, if your friends are also questioning some shit, you should listen, because here we are, what, 2-3 years later, after she already questioned about this man, and now Miss Girl is literally paying for it. Last thing, to the people that are in the comments, oh my god, this is so weird, oh my god, this is so weird. Do you realize that commenting on content you claim you don't like is telling the algorithm that you like it and you want to see more?
Y'all know what I also found too? The Reddit, and I keep talking about these Reddit threads. Let's go to them. Okay, so I'm not quite sure how to translate the Danish one yet, but this him. What? Oh, girl, if this motherfucker couldn't get $1 out of me, he couldn't get a good morning text first out of me. He couldn't even get going down to Go Chicken Go and going half on a 6-piece wing dinner out of me. Oh my boy, put a hat on. Them ears, woo. Remember when Martin used to get all them jokes about his ears being like elephant ears? I see the reference now. This nigga said, hello, hi, woo. This get me to thinking that maybe it is just the whole fetish thing. Like, I'm with a white man who said, or European, I'm sorry. I'm with a European man who loves me and tells me he loves me so much and everything. You taking a picture with either your phone or his phone that you bought and clothes that you bought for y'all. Both sets probably paid a tab that you paid, not him. Very cute purse though. I just love that. I know that ain't Coach, huh? I really want a new Coach. I do. I need to start looking around. It says, I have been translating the comments in this Danish gossip thread about him. Found here. Huge scammer. I've known Martin since we were little. We broke off contact when he scammed the company we both worked for. I showed this to my boyfriend who is from Aalborg, and he shouted, that's Big Kyle. Apparently there is also a little Kyle. He is a huge scammer from Aalborg who has scam stories going back 10 to 15 years where he has cheated his own friends in Aalborg. He said over 15 years ago, there was a post on Facebook where someone named Fabio, who was actually his friend, wrote something like, Martin, you fucking loser and scammer, stealing from your friends, etc. And in addition to that, a reward was promised for finding out where he had gone. He has been a fraudster for at least 18 years. I have been in the group of his close friends and have known him since first grade. It became crucial when he started owing Fabio money. I am also friends with him, and he had to move out of the country and ended up in China. When there was no other way out, he moved to China. However, he moved back to Denmark, where I know he scammed 2 women at the same time. Another user did the same exact thing. Good old Martin. It's incredible that he's still alive. I've known Martin since I was a child. I know several people he scammed, including companies. Funnily enough, we haven't been friends for many years. I had the pleasure of working with him. He was the typical salesman type, way too smart, in a hurry, and thought he could get whoever he wanted. Side note, he was called Kyle. Am I saying that right? I wonder if it's Kyle or Kylie. I have not seen the videos. After I read a post from a Danish woman, I did recognize his behavior. It just seems like his lies has been more extreme over time. He was a sweet and popular boy while we grew up, but he got addicted to gambling, started lying to everyone, even his closest friends and family. We went on education and worked together, so I knew him for a long time. I think the gambling addiction took hold, and he had to find money one way or another. The company we worked for had a policy that they would help with addiction treatment, including gambling addiction. Ain't it so crazy how all of this is getting confirmed? This way, he could avoid being fired while undergoing treatment. He used his company card to make purchases. He made an agreement with with his boss, and was transferred to an office in Shanghai. I can't answer what he's like now, as we haven't had contact for many years, but back then he was charismatic, charming, and social. He was warm and seemed honest. He wasn't someone who blew his whistle, but someone in the room you noticed positively. I know 3 women and several men that he has deceived. He has cheated on at least 2 girls in Denmark. He is probably international now. Lady in Paris X has made a video about him on TikTok.
The Danish deception guy, yeah, I've met him. Let's get into it. So I've already done a story time about this on my Danish account, but y'all keep asking about it in English. I thought I would post it on my English speaking account. So basically, I met him a couple of years ago when he was dating a very close friend of mine. In the beginning, when I was watching, yeah, I've met him. Let's get into it. So I've already done a story time about this on my Danish account, but y'all keep asking about it in English. I thought I would post it on my English speaking account. So basically, I met him a couple of years ago when he was dating a very close friend of mine. In the beginning, when I was watching her videos, I did not know that it was him, okay? I was just falling because she knew how to tell a story and it was super juicy, and you guys, everybody was hooked. Hello. So imagine my surprise when my friend writes in the group chat that this is the guy and she dated him, and I go, wait a minute, I met him when you guys were dating. People who do not know me, I grew up in Denmark, so everything about this is happening in Denmark. So when I met him, he was very charming, very nice, nothing negative to say about him. And also, like, I'm strict, but my friend is much more stricter, so I knew if she introduced me to this man that he must have been a really good man. Not only is this guy a scammer, he's also a cheater because he was seeing my friend, his now ex-wife, and his ex all around the same time. Like there's an overlap. And yes, he was out there selling everybody a dream. And I'm not gonna go into detail about the relationship that he had with my close friend, but what I can say is that this man did not come for any royalty. Okay, his last name is such a basic ass fucking Danish name. He was not in the Olympic. He did not come from a well-off family. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but let's keep it a book. And thankfully, my friend never gave him any money. Okay, thank God for that. And I feel like a lot of people should give Onyeka some grace because
No.
So guys, Danish deception guy is hiding out in Tulum, where I live. And he is scamming multiple people from the Run Club. Different women. Like in the last month. It is very apparent that he has no intention of stopping this, but he's here.
I'm not for making women seem like they're not intelligent enough to sense in their body when a motherfucker ain't good for them. Trust yourself. Give yourself grace. Even grace to make bad decisions. But trust what you're feeling on the inside of your body because it's not steering you wrong. If you feel something on your gut, if you feel a sinking feeling, start to do the work to identify what that feeling is. If you start to feel in your spirit, this might not be right. Whatever your belief system is, go to that and say, okay, how does this line up with that? I'm not saying that you got to be perfect or that you have to make a right decision every time, but do not count yourself out as if you're not smart enough to navigate which way you should go in your life. If a motherfucker is playing on your intelligence and you sense it, call it out and don't be scared. Yes, you can feel scared like inside of you and feel like, dang, I really don't want to say this because what if he doesn't want to be with me no more? I felt that too. That's why I'm telling you this. You can feel scared on your inside. That's okay. Still stand up and say it. And if he decides to answer you in a way that says, I don't give a fuck what you saying, lady, I'm going to do whatever I want to do and you can't tell me what to do and you can't ask me the questions and you can't do this. Oh, but I'm helping you, so I can't even ask you nothing. You know what decision you need to make. You ain't no fool. You're not stupid. Only you and God know what the best decisions are for your life. Nobody else outside of you. And say that you are blessed to have a circle. Don't matter if it's blood. Don't matter if it's friends. Say you are blessed to have a circle around you. Tell them what's going on. You know how many lives could have just been saved if people would just tell their circle exactly what's going on. And you'll learn about the people who are for you because they won't make you feel like you're this bad, dumbass person for telling them, I think I want to stay with the dude again. They're going to make you start being accountable. Yeah. They're going to hold your feet to the fire. This what you want. So you know, X, Y, and Z. Yeah, that's going to happen. You can't get baby, but that comes with at least having a supportive village who will protect you from making decisions like this. The truth ain't always going to feel comfortable. Hell, being honest ain't always going to feel good either. Having to tell a friend again, I still kind of want to mess with them. And they'd be like, girl, does that feel good? No. But at least developing the character trait of being honest will take you a lot further than you lying to yourself, lying to your circle, lying to your life. You never want to be dissatisfied with life. Even if you make the wrong decisions, even if you make the best decisions, you just don't want to be dissatisfied. Y'all know I can go on and on about that. I have been the Just Case and Brand, and I'll see you soon.